Let's just continue to do this.
If you thought we were unlistenable before.
Okay, let's put this. Whoa, sorry. Put that over there. Is that any better? No, that's worse. That's much worse.
Can you turn your speaker off? Is that what it is?
No, I need the speaker on because we have the intro to play.
Oh.
Wait, if I turn this down? No, that's not.
What if you mute the computer? Does that?
That doesn't help because I need the. Now we have no sound. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Wait, what? There we go. That works. Okay, we're good. Hey! Well, that's not going to be an unlistenable minute and a half intro.
Is that what the special intro for this episode was?
Yes.
Because if so, I'm really impressed.
It was not. But anyway, hey, it's the Idiot Squad. Hi. We may or may not have been drinking a little bit before this. I cannot confirm nor deny this.
One of us may have been coming back from Fest 2019.
Okay, you know what? This was your fault. Why am I pointing at you like this? All right.
You're giving me the five-finger point. I do not appreciate it.
I know. Let me turn this down.
Don't tell the mic what to do.
How do you turn it?
Do you know what settings that does?
I don't. I have no idea.
What are you looking for?
I need to turn the mic up.
Trying to get the
There
gains.
we go. I need to get the gains. There we go. We're good.
You're sure this is not going to sound like trash?
Oh, well, I mean, it's us. So after we finish the intro, though, I can turn the. Oh, why'd you turn that? Yeah. After we finish the intro, I can mute the speakers, and then it won't be an issue.
Is that better?
That's better.
All right, because volume's on the front. You don't need to mess with gain. Volume is right.
You know what? I want the gains.
It says
I
volume.
want. Hashtag person.
Individual,
all right,
human being.
All right, we are gonna play the intro for this week. You have not heard this yet.
I'm terrified.
I am very excited for this because I was working very hard on this. How do I? There we go. All right, you ready?
Press the play button.
All right, here we go. Why is it not playing?
This is great.
Shut up. Seriously, why is it not playing?
What a funny story, Mark.
Seriously, why is it not playing?
I assume this is all going to get cut out.
No, this is staying in.
Oh, great. Why would we want...
Okay, seriously, what's going on?
Is it not working because the laptop is also plugged in?
Let me turn this off. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. All right, hold on. All right, we're starting at the beginning. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
I don't think I could be any less ready.
Hey, think you can tell us what to do?
I love Japanese people.
What to wear?
I'm gonna have to go with furries.
You think that you're better?
What am I being inspired to do?
Well, you better get ready.
This is the part where we start kicking.
Bow to the masters. Break it down!
And if you're not down with that, then he's got 2 words for ya!
Lick balls.
And that's this week's intro.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you.
done.
I had a lot of fun putting that together. Let me just tell you.
Make sure you put in, layer that sound of me clapping so it sounds like there's more people in the room.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm Tyler. Hi.
I'm also Tyler.
Yeah, and we're the Game Tylers,
I'm B-Track Tyler.
and I'm the fapping to Tyler. That's getting edited out.
And I am the human hot dog.
That's true. You are the human hot dog.
I am one half of the famous AEW wrestling duo, Spoopy Perverts. As was created on night 2019.
Half of this is getting edited out just in the first minute.
Good. That's also been
All right,
7
all right.
minutes. All right.
All right, we
Anything
need to
else,
actually.
McConaughey? Or you wanted to keep
We need
saying,
to
"All right."
actually start with what we were gonna. I can't breathe right now.
You
We
know,
need to actually start with what we were gonna talk about right now.
You were laughing at me and calling me weak for getting some water, and you're over here like.
Okay,
to
you
go
know
to
what? I don't
17
have to drive
hours.
home right now, okay? And I also have like
You are home.
15. Exactly. I also have like 14 tabs of up right now, and I'm gonna go home
You are home.
and I'm gonna fap to this right now while you tell the next story. Anyway, so Kyle's wedding. That happened. You want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. So, all in. We went to that a year ago.
That's correct.
You want to talk about it?
No.
All right. So, I went to reddit.com and USC just scored, I think. Or is that Fresno State? I don't know. Who cares?
The white team.
All right. You have to talk about Kyle's wedding because I talked about Joe's wedding. So, you talk about it. I'm going to finish this drink and listen to you. So, go ahead.
Well, Kyle's wedding was an absolutely lovely time in an absolutely rural place outside
Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget exactly where we were.
There we go.
Are we recording
Okay.
now?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. We were in somewhere Indiana. Probably one of the most fun parts of it that
I
I
turned the
had.
volume up. We should be good. I think we're good. We're good. Keep going.
Probably one of the least fun parts that I had while I was out there was I found out that the reservation got screwed up, and instead of having it booked for the weekend in July, I had it booked for the correct dates, but in June.
Oh.
So after the wedding dress rehearsal and rehearsal dinner, I managed to find myself lacking a hotel room to stay for the night.
Nice.
So then we went to a different place after much arguing with the front desk people because the air conditioning didn't work and they didn't consider that as being a non-functioning room.
Right.
So I was not able to get my money back from them, which is a claim that I am still fighting to this day. But we were able to try to find a second hotel
Okay.
that ended up falling through because it was incredibly sketchy and dirty, and Hannah refused to stay there.
Did they rent by the hour?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Oh, cool.
So what
I
does
mean,
what does
so
that have to
you
do with
so
it?
you only need like 10 minutes?
Yeah, you know.
I
Power
mean,
nap.
if me and got a hotel room, I
What's
mean,
that?
we'd take like the whole 20 minutes. That's getting edited out. Bleep that out. Barry.
Guy who used to work for a YouTube channel.
Oh, ISU lost. Good. Suck it, nerds.
Northern Illinois, yay for Kyle.
Continue.
And then we found a different, really nice, mostly finished Holiday Inn that we got for like 60% off thanks to Priceline.com.
Holiday Inns are usually okay.
Yeah. We were like on the very top floor. We could see the entire tiny town that we were staying in, and we were only like 15 minutes away.
Were you in whatever that town is he lives in, or were you closer to Indianapolis?
I think we were closer to Indianapolis.
Okay.
That's almost what the city is called.
Almost Indianapolis.
Almost Indianapolis.
Fair enough. So how was the wedding itself?
The wedding itself was incredibly nice. I was one of the groomsmen. I looked good in my tux. Most
Nice.
of us looked good in our tuxes. I did look a little bit too much like the Kingpin from the animated Spider-Man cartoons, which has inspired me to, do more cardio than none at all when I go up to the gym.
Hey, I am right there with you.
So
I know the feeling.
Lifting weights and eating a lot of burgers and brats. Today was a failure, but
Was it
no.
a failure though? Let's reevaluate what a failure is.
True. Yeah, the ceremony was super nice. The reception afterwards was super nice.
That's good.
One of the personal highlights for Mason was that there was an aviary outside
Ooh.
that was only maybe like a third of a mile away. So So I did manage to venture away from the property down the road to go hang out by the birds. There was a small green one that knew how to say hello. So it and I said hello to each other for what felt like seconds and was probably minutes.
That kind of defines what it's like when I talk to a girl, though. If we're being real, it feels like minutes, but it's actually hours. No, wait, that's the other way.
You say hello a bunch and then she flies away on her wings?
Yes.
Nice.
And yeah, I like birds. You know,
But I like the birds.
I really like birds, if you know what I mean.
Hi, Kyle.
All right. So, how was the ceremony itself? Was it long or?
No, it wasn't long at all.
Good. See, that's what I don't get is when these people have weddings that like take an hour long in the ceremony. It's like, what are you doing? Come on, just like I said last year about this time when I was in Joe's wedding. They got up there, did the vows, did the rings, and they're like, "Do you? I pronounce you man and wife, and let's drink." That was it. There was no big complicated thing. It was simple, and that's how it should be.
Just enough time for toast to get made
Exactly.
in the toaster that you have underneath the thing.
That toaster still is in my basement. The loaf of bread is not.
I would hope not.
It would probably be as solid as a rock at this point.
Just like you are, looking at...
Hey, that's getting edited out.
Oh, that's fine.
But anyway.
Now that you're done saying the N-word for 30 minutes.
I didn't. You cannot prove that I did that.
You can't prove you didn't.
Hang on, let me answer this message.
Okay, we'll wait.
I spelled people wrong. I should probably do that right.
Peephole?
Okay, we're good. All right. So let me go to my itinerary. What? So my first entry on the itinerary was intro. We already took care of that.
We did.
The second entry, and I'm reading this off the screen, was Kyle gets hitched. We pretty much already covered that.
Should probably edit that out. He legitimately does not like that. He will be mad.
We're going to put that picture in.
He's half of our listeners. You can't do that.
Statistically, I think he's 1/3 of our listeners.
Statistically, I don't count us.
Okay, then he's all of our listeners.
Yeah. So we should not do things that 100% of our listeners don't
Kyle,
like.
I won't edit in that you're Kyle.
Oh my god, none of this is usable.
Yeah, because this was so listenable before.
I don't stand for this, Kyle. I love you.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah. Remember when you used to do these things with us? When we used to make fun of you to your face instead of from afar.
Good times.
Anyway, we're all in. Mm-hmm. Which was yours. That was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun from what I remember. I remember getting in your aunt's car.
Correct. Yes.
And then I remember standing outside.
Right.
And then we got in.
Yes.
And then I remember SCU.
SCU!
And then I remember a large Asian man who you've informed me is the Rainmaker.
The Kazuchika Okada, yes.
Who I proceeded to call the Rain Man.
The Rain Man. Gotta pin him. Gotta pin Marty's girl. Gotta pin Marty's girl. Yes.
And then the last match had a lot of flipping and was super awesome. Even
Yes,
though
it did.
get
It was
cut
very short. Rick Knox was the ref. I do remember that.
Rey Mysterio was there.
Yes, he was.
He is as old as time itself.
Yes, he is.
People joke about Ric Flair wrestling the Pharaohs. I'm pretty sure Rey Mysterio could have wrestled... what's the Aztec version of the Pharaoh?
Yami.
He was not Aztec. Yami was the Pharaoh.
He wrestled him in a children's card game. Yes.
The winged luchador of Raw.
Slifer, the executive producer.
Woo!
Yes. But it was a very good show. Tonight, it's been a year since we did the last podcast, but we watched All Out. The sequel to All In. And very good. Very good show. Very fun. I remember most of it. I do remember that I was very upset that Kylie Ray was not on it. And that's getting edited out.
What stuff about?
Yes. Speaking of that.
Mental.
Yes. There we go. Person. Anyway.
1,000 hertz.
Shout out to Kyle. And
All right, we'll wait.
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sending this text.
Are you sorry?
Not really. Chris Jericho is the first shampoo. I forgot I sent that text.
It's the first AEW shampoo.
Oh, what?
Tell me more.
No, she better.
It's okay. I'll take time to respond
Okay.
to a text message of my own.
Oh, hey. That's getting edited out. I feel sorry for myself in a couple of days when I go to edit this.
When you sober.
Anyway, so yeah, All In happened a year ago. All Out happened tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. That's a great Game Grumps reference right there that you just texted to me. Sorry, wrong number.
Wrong person.
Person. All right. So before we get any further, I wanted I
As if we've made progress.
I know, really. So I went onto Reddit,
Oh, didn't.
and we're just skipping all the segments that we agreed on, and we're going straight to this. I went on Reddit and went on Reddit.com. These I'm expecting us to answer. Some of them I'm not, which I'm hoping that this text is big enough that I can read them.
I'm hoping that.
Mostly. I'm going to make this text bigger, actually. Let's go to 18 point. There we go. All right. Are you ready?
The drink is in hand.
Stupid questions subreddit. I'm just filling that in ahead of time. Are we still recording? Yeah, we are.
Is
Okay.
this r/stupid questions?
Yes.
Good. All right.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
If your butt is your rear end, what is your front's beginning?
I'm going to say your front's beginning is wherever the stuff that comes out of your butt comes from.
I was going to say your dick tip.
I mean, if that's where you take stuff in.
Well, I mean,
You ever heard of
Sometime.
sounding?
Okay, we're going to move on now. And, all
Don't
right.
cut this out, you coward.
Oh, I won't.
He will.
A high. Okay.
Oh, hey, look
one.
at you, Mr. Scissors.
One. What? Oh, it's you. Okay. Question number 2. I have a lot of these questions, by the way. I was going through r/stupid questions, and I was really enjoying myself. Okay, that's just lovely.
So,
Question number 2.
You were enjoying yourself?
Question number 2. I was enjoying myself, and then you did that. Now, if wanted to I'd be alright. You know what? I took off for that. But anyway,
Oh, hey,
question
look at
number
you,
2.
Scissors.
How do popes greet each other? I don't know. Sup,
I
Pope?
believe.
Sup, my
I
Pope?
suppose. I believe they have an intricate handshake.
That sounds accurate.
Not unlike. Nope, that's gonna get cut.
Podcast like me talking endlessly about Okay, this question actually made me think. Can you breathe through your nose while deep throating? I would say no.
Not if you're doing it well.
If you're doing it right. Because I mean, if the cock is all the way down your throat, we should call but she'd know.
Who?
Person.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Where are we at?
Look, the football man did a hit.
This was one of my favorite one of my favorite ones. Has a walrus ever died from looking down?
Actually, yes.
That is a really good question.
There was on a different subreddit today. I fucked up. There's a really funny story that somebody posted about how he was watching a nature documentary and then his girlfriend came over. Mm-hmm. They'd only been dating for a little bit, so they thought, "Oh, let's watch a nature documentary. This will be nice, and there'll be nothing not family friendly about it." As it turns out, that was about the exact same time that it cut to a scene of dozens of walruses flinging themselves off of an extremely tall cliff.
Well, that's
that they
not,
put in there for reasons that no one can understand.
That's not if a walrus looks down, though. That's just if a walrus throws himself off a cliff. That's different. Because if a walrus looks down, then his tusks, impale himself. That's different.
That depends on how fast the walrus looks
Did you
down.
drink all of this? You need to finish this. Come on, you little pussy. Don't be a.
That hurts. Not that you said
I'd make
that,
it hurt.
Not that you said that to me, but that you would call that about. You would say that about.
I know, right? She's hot.
Nice.
I know.
She's good.
We're not going to talk about that. Anyway.
Hey, look at you, Mr. Scissors.
All right, we're going to move on. Would you pay tax when buying illegal items? I say no.
No, God, no.
No. Okay. This
Is there a black market tax?
This is also one of my favorite questions. Is pubic hair the only hair people with cancer have?
I mean, I guess it depends on if they have junk cancer or not. Does where you get the chemo change something?
Oh. Why?
That's a legitimate question.
Why you do this?
I'm asking.
Oh.
Like if
I didn't write the question.
If I get back cancer, am I going to get rid of the forest? There are living creatures there.
Okay. We need to stop talking now.
About my back forest?
We need to talk more about.
Ew.
Well, you don't know if it's. Maybe it's like the Amazon where they.
Hey, look at you, Mr. Scissors.
That's getting good.
Hey, Sober Tyler. Note to you, whenever I say, "Oh, hey, look at you, Mr. Scissors," that's where you should cut back in from the segment that you've just blurred out or cut out entirely.
Okay. All right. Oh, my eyes are burning. Stupid allergies. Okay. We're already at 23 minutes. Man,
Good
look at us go.
God.
Where is it?
Yeah, but after
Okay.
after the necessary revisions, we've just started the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Could a fan big enough blow away a storm?
Are these questions coming straight from the White House and are legitimate?
Oh, too soon.
Too soon.
Okay.
Hey, look at you, Mr. Scissors. I'm gonna.
This is another one of my favorite ones.
Well, hang on.
Oh, okay.
The storm question does have an actual answer.
Yes.
The answer is it depends on the angle of the fan and which way the storm is spinning.
This is very true.
Because if it blows the way towards the, you see, what you have to do is you have to set up a giant spike. Someone should tell Florida. We can save
They're
them.
gonna lose
They're
all
still
their
talking.
rings. Keep hitting pause button and they can fly over the walls.
I can't wait.
Shout out to Sonic Boom. All right.
Can't wait to watch the Weather Channel's coverage of Hurricane Dorian and Knuckles.
Are you ready for the next question?
Dorian the Hurricane 3.
Are you
Knuckles.
Are you ready for the next question?
Sure.
Are you sure you're ready?
Absolutely.
What's stopping a Muslim woman from just wearing a Spider-Man costume everywhere? That is a good question. I don't know.
I guess personal preference. if
True.
you prefer to be wrong.
That's very true.
Like, Spider-Man has nothing bad going for him except for the fact that he's poor and he had
Well,
to
I mean,
watch his
it's-
uncle die.
I was gonna say his parents died, didn't they?
Yeah, but he wasn't around for that.
Fair enough. Well, he would have had to have been around, otherwise he wouldn't be alive.
Well, yeah, like, Peter came out, they said goodbye, and they went off to die.
Yeah. What? All right.
Hey, look at you, Mr. Scissors.
Hey, shout out to.
And there
gonna
you are again, Mr.
I'm-
Scissors.
I'm gonna later.
Oh, Scissors, you're a current guest on the podcast. That's what you should put in the fucking title of the episode. Just whatever it is, and then in parentheses.
Realistically, do you think
Featuring
this is
Mr.
gonna make it to
Scissors.
the internet?
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's right.
I do, actually.
Although, I was gonna say, if that one we did in Austin made it to the internet, this one's going to.
This is just going to require some heavy censorship.
All right. Where are we at? Oh. Is it gay to have no friends? I would say yes.
I don't...
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
Does Bruno Mars is not have friends?
I don't know. Does Bruno Mars is gay? Oh, Auburn won. Nice.
I don't have time to read the entirety of that. Mostly because I don't have internet access and it's not up in front of me right now.
All right, fair enough. All right. That's out of bounds. That game also already ended. Anyway, where are we at? Oh, all right. Are most scientists lifelong virgins?
I mean,
Also true.
because they're too busy doing science.
That's also true.
So the answer could be yes.
See, and I was gonna say I'm too busy doing girls, but let's be real, no one is gonna, like lay me. So
I mean,
that just got depressing. I'm
Thank-
sad.
thank you, Scissors. I appreciate
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Scissors, you're so good to us.
Let me switch to that window, and there we go. Okay.
You better not have that up on your screen right now.
Yeah,
You would need to be making sure that the recording is still working.
It is, and are still baby. I don't know why I said that
I
way.
am so glad that I am not editing this episode.
I am very sad for myself.
Not that I'm gonna.
Anyway.
Not that I've ever edited an episode, nor will I.
Okay, yeah, there's a reason for that. Okay.
Because it wouldn't happen if I did.
Yeah. If a coconut has hair and milk, why isn't it considered a mammal?
Well,
That is actually a good question.
because it lays eggs.
Oh, of course.
Next question.
You know, there's coconut eggs everywhere.
Yeah.
You know who I would like to? Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Hey. So hear me out.
Okay. Go.
So chickens lay eggs, right?
Sure.
Chickens lay eggs, fertilized or not, right?
Yes.
The eggs you eat are unfertilized. Coconuts that you eat and get milk from, unfertilized. You never see the pregnant coconut. You never see little baby coconuts.
Sure.
You only ever eat the unfertilized coconut eggs. They're mammals, just like chickens.
That somehow made sense.
I'm not a lifelong scientist.
Are you a virgin though?
I plead the fifth. I'm putting myself under arrest so that I don't have to answer that question. But you are free to ask me some of the other questions that are on this list if you're not too busy on your phone, like a professional.
I'm professional. You know what I'm professional at? I mean, professionally. I don't know where I was going with that, and that's getting edited out.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Rudy's. Rudy's, the
Rudy's.
worst barbecue in Texas.
Rudy's Country Store.
Rudy's
and
Country Store
Barbecue.
and barbecue.
I have the black cup.
And I have
that
the
says
red cup.
North Texas on it.
And I have the red cup that says nothing.
Sweet.
It says community impact reuse.
Ashley is asking if we made the cheesy brats.
Who's Ashley?
I told you who Ashley was.
Give me her full name and address.
At 1 Ashley Street, Ashley, Illinois. 11111.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. The answer to that question is no. We have not made the cheesy brats yet. I feel like that would have been a good...
USC! Oh, it's a commercial break. Oh, look, a black eye.
That's a salad. That's a doctor. That's unrealistic.
Oh, I have a lot of stupid questions. We're about halfway through. How many Earth years is a space year?
I mean, it depends how long it takes space to rotate around our sun.
What? I don't think that's how it works.
Well, listen, are you a lifelong scientist?
No, I'm not a virgin.
Brag about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that may be a lie.
You know what I am?
I'm saving myself for
I'm the human hot dog.
the human wiener.
One half of the spooky perverts.
The spoopy perverts.
The human perverts.
Okay.
As opposed to the great ape perverts.
Where is it? Can I eat aquarium gravel?
Once?
Well, yeah, that seems accurate.
At least once.
Fair enough. Next up, my mom confessed that I was lesbian, so does that mean I am adopted? I don't know what that means.
I mean, I understand being confused at this point in your life.
I wonder every day if I'm a lesbian.
I mean,
That's probably getting edited out.
it's fine to be wondering. You know,
Sure.
You're still growing up.
I mean,
You're a young man of looking 45.
thank
And
you.
I think at a certain point, whenever you're ready.
You know who's
You
27, though?
Ew. At some point,
And-
sit them down on the couch, and you just need to look them in the eye and say, "Mom, you're gay."
But you are. We don't talk about this game. It never happened. Okay.
For
If-
the orange
if-
and the blue.
If any animal could jerk it like humans do, which would be the fastest?
Oh, dolphins easily.
Really?
Yeah,
I was going to say chimpanzee because they have arms.
Lots of animals have arms.
Well, yeah, but dolphins don't.
Dolphins already masturbate.
Dolphins have fins. They can't reach their dicks. Moron.
Dolphins currently masturbate.
Do they?
Yeah,
Is that true?
yeah.
Okay.
There's
hey
a video.
Siri.
There's a video on YouTube of a dolphin using a severed fish head.
Okay. We're gonna. Oh, hi.
Oh yeah, we're gonna edit out what I said, which is a real thing. But the several
let's
times that
see.
you talk about or fucking you're gonna say right.
Okay,
in the
this
podcast.
is your fault.
I did it.
Dolphin masturbation.
I did.
How do I spell masturbation?
I don't.
I spelled it
WHATTYLERDOES.
I spelled it MESTURBATION.
That's how you spell it.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
That's
it is.
masturbation.
What?
Dolphin
Did you spell
masturbation.
dolphin with an F or a PH?
Dolphin masturbating?
See, I told you.
Okay, I need to pull this video up. 10 animals that masturbate. That's the second video.
This is the best BuzzFeed article ever.
Number 3 will blow your mind.
And something else.
Now he is.
See?
Oh, hello.
See, I told
That's
you.
what I do whenever I see pictures of. This is getting edited out.
So what are we at? The 5-minute mark now?
One.
Welcome to 1,000
What is that dolphin
hertz.
doing? I think that dolphin is 6. I'm gonna stop
Whining
watching the
and
dolphin
dining
jerking
and
it.
69.
All right. Where are
We
we
should
at?
rebrand ourselves as 1,000 hertz.
Okay. 1,000 Hertz, the podcast.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is Florida shaped like a handgun on purpose?
You know, this question has actually made me think God is real.
I say yes.
As the good Lord intended. Praise his name.
That's Dale Earnhardt, of course.
Never turn left.
You mean right?
Make sure you live right, turn left.
There we
Praise
go.
Earnhardt.
Why is there Braille on drive-up ATMs? Another good question.
Bec-
Frightening. But okay, I'll accept that.
Different colors of green, red, and yellow.
Well, you need to be able to... never mind.
Braille is for people who can't see words.
If you're listening, I hope you're not missing. And if you ever need... You got one right here. Okay, thanks. Next question. Is it safe to eat dry cake mix straight from the box?
Once.
I say yes.
At least once.
I mean, it wouldn't be very good, but...
If you eat dry cake mix from the box and then eat all the other ingredients, have you eaten cake?
I like where you're going with that.
Like, if I stuff you with cake mix, eggs, butter, and then I put you in the oven for like 40 minutes... Oh, hey, look at you, Mr. Scissors. Thank you for your
That's
contribution.
getting edited out.
Oh my god.
This is going to be bad. This is going to be worse than that the episode we did in Austin.
We're like at 40 minutes in, and we have
Are we?
just 7.
We're at, actually 40 minutes.
We have 7 minutes of content, and most of it is saying
Well-
that's getting edited out.
Realistically, that's about where we're normally at in this podcast.
That's fair.
Okay.
This podcast that we do enough to have normal reading thing.
I know, right?
This is episode 8, and we've been going.
No,
for...
it's episode 11.
Oh, excuse me, episode 11, and we've been
Yeah.
going for 8 years.
It feels like it.
The last time that
Okay.
we did a podcast with Kyle, he had not met the woman he is currently married to.
No, he had just met her.
I didn't listen to that episode.
I mean, neither.
I haven't listened to any of our show.
I know, right? No, I believe the last episode that Kyle was actually on where we were all in the same room. Because we did those couple episodes where I was on Google Hangouts or whatever it was.
That's correct.
I think he had just met her. But, yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
All of our listener, if you would like to comment and confirm, please do so.
So in
now.
other words, Kyle,
yeah, all of our listener.
if you want to help me get laid with...
If you help you get laid with,
I don't want that. You know, the have been
what's
there
wrong
before.
with? Oh, well, okay.
That's getting at Snips the magic dragon.
All right. If you're
All right.
quite done.
Oh, there's still stuff in there. Hazel, etc.
Is it pregnant?
It does not specify. Put it on TV.
That's a mirror.
Well, that got awkward. I wonder if would be like, yo, what are you recording over there?
I'm not recording anything. I'm being silent and letting you dig yourself a hole.
Thank you. That's my favorite part.
That's your fucking cardio for the day. Is
That's
you
right.
Digging
Digging myself out of a
hole.
hole.
Yeah, and then simultaneously digging yourself deeper into the hole.
I dig myself into. And you know I'm right. You know I'm right, right? You don't want to answer. Hi. Do we need to bring up the
Next question.
the next question? Okay, when I found this question, the first thing I thought of was Gavin's character in GTA 5. Because the question is, how come people look dumber with their mouth open?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's very true. And I don't know the answer. We should order pizza. I want pizza.
Our goal was to use the grill out there to make pizza.
We never got that far.
We can still get that far.
You know what I wonder?
What do you wonder?
I wonder if was backstage and they're like on their way and we're gonna walk over to Higgins Road, and we're going to intersect. Okay, we're good now. There it is. And I'm gonna be like, hey, my love for the. This is gonna be listened to. You realize that, right?
Yeah, now it's good to listen to.
It's always awful to listen to. That's our. Serena Williams is playing Federer? Oh no.
Interesting.
It's not. But anyway.
You keep resenting.
Because I wish it was. I wish she. I wish she was writing.
What?
Shut up. Sweet burp, dude. Oh, hey.
So much meat in my breath.
Okay. And the last question that I took from reddit.com/stupidquestions. This is exactly how I copied it from the website. This is not edited. So if this was a like an academic picture or paper, it would say sick after it, you know, the SIC and the little brackets. Do deodorant hurt nipples when you squirt it there? I believe no. But I think it also depends.
You know, I'm going to fight you on this. I'm going to say yes.
Deodorant do hurt?
Deodorant do hurt nipples when it's spray there. Or when you squirt it there.
And what's your reasoning behind that?
Because I'm the one who asked this question.
Fair enough.
And it do.
It do.
There was actually a period of time where I had to switch over to stick deodorant because for whatever reason the spray deodorant I was using was burning my armpits.
Oh. That's good to know.
And when I run, I chafe my nipples. Thank you. Thank you for your
Anyway.
Once again, our sponsor for this episode is Mr. Scissors.
And Dr. Scholl's.
Gelling.
So, I'm gelling like a felon. Alright, so, you talked about Kyle's wedding. I went to Texas.
Oh, did you know?
I did. That's when I got your, Rudy sauce.
My giant bottle of the worst barbecue sauce.
It is not the worst.
It says it is, but it's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's really good.
It is very good.
It's great to drown burgers in.
It is. Especially when you put them before the burgers are done, and then the bun is dripping in sauce.
No, the bun has absorbed the sauce.
I wish would have.
You're just making more work for yourself. I'm not the one who has to edit this.
I know.
I'm trying my best.
I'm giving myself something to do next week. Anyway.
We have a full year to work on this before the next round. So.
I know, right? Because Kyle won't be back here before then.
He does not live here anymore. You know, I mean, the answer is probably no. But do you think it, like, by the time we record the next podcast or the one after, Kyle might be a dad? That'd be crazy, right?
You think he could get laid?
Well, he's married, so no.
So no.
Yeah.
Unless he gets a hooker. Realistically, or just like scarecrows, right?
Made of straw. Do they go on trips with girls named Dorothy looking for hearts? Or brains?
I was gonna say, didn't the scarecrow look for a brain? If
I
he only had a brain. It's also raining. Done.
That was not clever at all.
I know. Well, nothing we ever say is clever.
I have been trying. Thank you. I've been making it super easy for you to edit out all the non-clever stuff by saying nothing when you start talking about and or
Not. Her name is and I wanna.
Hey, I just met you. And this is
crazy. But here's my number. Let me. And drink. That's right. How is that now that you're not shotgunning it, by the way?
This is much better.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the night, Mason tried to shotgun a, what is this, a 40-something Main Street Blood Orange Rattler. There's still one more, if you want it.
That's yours.
Drink something harder. This barely has any alcohol in it. You drink it.
What do
I need to finish the...
It's almost nothing.
So yeah, I went to Texas. Went to Rudy's.
Delicious.
I had barbecue 3 days in a row.
Oh.
And that was the greatest 3 days in a row in my life. The first night we went to Rudy's. The second night we went to another place. And the third night we went to this local place in Granbury. Which is like 45 to 60 minutes southwest of Fort Worth. And I got the brisket, which I always get brisket. But it was chopped brisket. And the plate could not have...
A square foot of brisket?
Pretty much.
That's
and
better.
about and I think beans or something like that. It was very good. That was a very good trip. It cools off. Like when we were in Austin for RTX, that night that we went out to that patio bar, it was hot during the day, like every other day that we were there. But at night it kind of cools off and it's okay. It's livable outside. You can stand to go outside. And it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. We were there for a car show. And the way it works is Sunday night is when kind of everything starts off. There's an ice cream social. You walk in and you get ice cream and whatever toppings you want with it. And then Thursday night is the banquet, and then everyone leaves on Friday. And then Friday we were going to Tennessee to see our family. All of that, but that's not important. But that Thursday night at the banquet, the banquet food was barbecue.
Delicious.
So the way it works, the way it worked was you went through the line, and it was kind of buffet style, sort of. They had 3 different kinds of barbecue. They had turkey, pulled pork, and I think brisket. And you could pick 2 out of the 3. And then you could get your own sides, like potato salad. They had beans. They had other stuff. They had bottles of barbecue sauce. Whatever. So after the first time you went through the line, you went back to your table and started eating, whatever. And then they said, we have extra food. So if you want to go back through the line, you can. Well, of course, me being the person that I am, doesn't want to let any food go to waste. So I went back
You
through
heard
the
the
line.
feedback of the microphone being turned on, and you were already moving out
I
of your
know.
seat.
I know, right?
There's a sonic boom of your chair exploding into a million
Sonic
pieces
boom.
as you got into the...
Yeah. So I went back up, and when we went back up, they weren't they didn't really care what you picked up, because they were just trying to get rid of the food because they were gonna throw it out. So the last time I went up, I got all the different kinds of barbecue.
Delicious.
So that was turkey, pulled pork, and brisket. A big thing of potato salad. I think the beans were out, and that was realistically a good thing for our bathroom. But it was a good time. It was a good banquet. It was one of the better ones we've ever been to. And if every banquet could be like that, I would definitely take it. Because that was fun. That was it was a fun time, and I would do it again. But we were in Granbury. Like I said, about 45 to 60 minutes southwest of Fort Worth. The one day, actually a couple days, we went to Fort Worth. We went to the stockyards, which was a really cool experience. Every day, I think twice a day, they do a cattle drive where they have the guys on horses that lead the cattle through the street. That was pretty cool, and there's a bunch of expensive restaurants if you want to eat down there. What else did we do? We went to a safari park, which was really cool. Basically, you stay in your car, and the animals walk literally right up to your car. Which would be okay, but you have to buy the food. Like, it's little pellets or, whatever, the little stuff that you hand out the window. And what you're supposed to do is throw it on the ground so that they, walk away from the cars a little bit. But it's very clear that... Oh, the fumble. Sorry. I got distracted. It's very clear that people don't do that because the animals will literally walk up to your window and look at you like, do you have food? And it got to the point that, like, halfway through it's a big loop. Like, you come in the one side, you go around here and come back out the other side. It became very clear that the animals were going to walk up to our window and look at us like we have food. So it became, like, I would start, when the animals would walk up, I'd be like, food? 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 And just the faces on the animals, gave that impression off. But it was definitely very cool. And it was one of the coolest safari parks we've been to. Because we've been to a lot of those, where you drive through and the animals are in cages or whatever. It's not that exciting. But, this one really in the middle of nowhere in Texas, they walk right up to your car. And, if you stick your hand out, they will put their mouths right to your hand to take the food. So it was pretty cool. And it wasn't that expensive compared to some of the other ones anyway.
And the pellets were delicious.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
You were eating the animal pellets.
I was eating the animals. It makes it very easy to hunt.
You did say that you ate 3 days worth of barbecue.
That's right.
You did not say that it was from the one rhino.
That's right.
And that you are not allowed back.
But let's see what else happened on that trip. We went to Texas. And on the way back, like I said, we went to Tennessee to see our relatives.
But that's not important.
We've been there a few times. I don't know if it's been since we've started the podcast, but I always love going out there. It's a really cool area, unless there's an earthquake, and then it's not going to be fun. But
it's not California.
Hashtag New Madrid fault. Google it.
Is there an old Madrid fault?
I don't know.
But
there is a New Madrid, and if it ever snaps, it's going to destroy basically from St. Louis to Memphis. That is a true story.
And will anything of value be lost?
Probably not.
Hashtag support New Madrid. Buy their jerseys.
I mean, we would feel it here. We definitely would feel it. It wouldn't really do much damage up here, but we would definitely feel it.
Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
Well, I wouldn't feel it right now.
Can you feel it, Mr.
Oh! Speaking, we'll get to it, but after we went to Iowa for our annual trip to the Cincinnati tournament, I hit. There is a very specific reason for that we did not know going in. So, last year...
You went to the bathroom and you broke 2 rackets.
I am... because the announcers were hilarious in that video. Anyway.
One of them countries where the people talk.
So, I can serve.
The You Got Serves challenge, yes.
Yes. No, but yes.
Yes.
My fastest serve this year was somewhere between 110 and 119 miles an hour. And the reason I know that is because when I was hitting my serves, normally you pay $5 and you get 3 serves. 3 balls, that's it. So I hit my first 2 serves. I hit a 94 and a 94. My third one did not register on the gun. And the guy goes, oh yeah, that's been happening all the time. Apparently if it's between 100... I don't know if my serve was 110 or 119. But, so officially, I hit 94, 94, 92, something, 100 and something, 92. So I was happy. I'd love to, but, I can't really impress. It's midnight.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
I told you when we were starting that idea because we've been
Yeah.
drinking for the past 7 hours.
Yeah. Anyway.
Awesome. Got to make sure to point out that it's good with a C.
That's true.
Not bad. Not bad. Not.
That's getting edited out. If you're listening, I'd love...
Yeah, edit out my thing, but keep that in.
Fair enough.
Go ahead, Mr. Scissors. The floor is yours. Thank you, Mr. Scissors.
Yeah.
What an enlightening contribution.
So I had to get a new debit card.
I heard.
Yeah, I didn't tell this full story earlier. So I forget what day it was. It was like Tuesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember. I got a notification from Chase that I had spent $270 at an outdoor store in Northbrook.
Which you know is not true because you don't go outdoors.
I don't go outdoors, and I don't live in Northbrook. So I called Chase, and there's a number on the back of the debit card that's like, if you have an issue, call this number, or whatever. So I called the number, and the first time I called it, I don't know if their automated system had, and finally got into the system, and they said, you know, your call is very important to us. We're going. And I said, did you put a stop on your debit card? Because I can lock my debit card from my... thing was, it must have been Monday, because I had set my throw up which one it's going to actually get. And I asked the woman that I was talking to, I said, you know, without this deposit that I didn't, or not deposit, without this withdrawal that I didn't make, I'd have enough money. But because this withdrawal happened, I don't. Am I going to have to pay a overdraft fee? Because I was not going to be happy if I did, you know. And the woman's like, well, I don't know. Let me transfer you to someone else that will know that. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So she transferred me to someone else, and the person that I got then, I said, you know, I have a charge on my debit card that I didn't make. Said, even though I wasn't responsible for the charges, and I disputed. She put a dispute on it, so what's going on? Overdraft fee for a charge that I'm not responsible for. And I think she finally got sick of me because she's like, let me transfer you to someone else over in whatever it was. And I'm like, fine. Because realistically, I was done talking to this woman at this point, and if I stayed on the phone with her any longer, I was going to actually reach through the phone and kill her. So she transferred me to a third person, and she said, you know, is this a situation? And I said, yes. She goes, okay, let me take care of that for you. So she put the dispute in. So I don't know what that first woman did, but it was not anything close to what I actually wanted her to do. Am I going to have to deal with the overdraft fee? And she's like, no, we'll put a credit in my account that same day. And that was the night that my payment went through. Very close to quitting Chase that night because I was not happy with their more accurate
Their phone support?
Yeah, they just I just don't know why it took me 3 people to get to one that actually knew how to do their job. That's what made me so mad. Because I spent half an hour on the phone with Chase. It shouldn't have taken me that long to get to someone that knew what they were talking about.
Right, it should have taken you 10 minutes, 9 of which were you holding.
Exactly. You know, it was ridiculous. That was a fun waste of an afternoon. That was just a fun day in general. But anyway, yeah. Like I said, I have my new debit card. I haven't used it yet because I have no money in my account. But
that's because your wallet is full of singles that you don't know where.
That's right. I'm making bank, yo. Those look very good. The Burger King waffle sandwiches. That is a popsicle.
To each their own.
But anyway, we are almost at 1 hour.
Woo!
So is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Oh, you had a game to play.
I do have a game to play.
You have a game to play. Except we were going to do it in a power hour, and we ended up not doing that.
That's actually fine, because we don't have to drink, but I can set up a power hour for us.
I mean, I have been drinking. So.
If you would like to continue to drink,
yeah,
feel free.
That's gonna stop me. Tijuana, there's a lot of Mexicans there. It's probably because it's in Mexico.
So, just to make sure that this works.
Speaking of that, did you see my snap last night that it was on the bottom line? Whoa.
Alright, that seems to work.
What just happened? What is happening right now? On the bottom it said PCG, I think. And I was like, or no, PSG. And I was like, the pumpkin spice gangsters. That was a good time. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I'm trying to find one that has a. Alright, that's less annoying. Perfect.
Is it less annoying than?
Thank you, Sis.
Let me pull the video. Not video.
The snip tool?
Ah, there we go.
Yes, so. One thing that is more or less well known about me is that I am a huge weeaboo.
Yes.
I do not partake in otaku culture, but I am an outside observer.
Sure.
And one of the things that's happened between episodes is probably a couple...
Wait a minute. What's your area code?
I don't see why that's important.
No, just tell me. Is it...
My phone is, yes.
Okay.
Are you texting me something?
Maybe.
Okay.
When I pulled your number up, it came up with 2 different numbers, and I'm not sure why.
Interesting.
So I really hope I picked the right one.
I really hope that you edit out my area code.
Well, half of this podcast is getting bleeped out.
I hope it's in that half. Did you just send me the same picture that I sent you earlier?
Okay, it wasn't exactly the same.
Anyway. So, since the last episode of the podcast,
Yes.
the most recent part of the anime anthology series, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, has come out.
Yes.
And I thought you, having never seen the show,
That's me.
knowing nothing of the season, your goal being to try to memorize as many stands as possible, and to give just a general summary of the plot line so far. Or the plot line of this part, since it is, like, contained within itself. It is a singular story with a beginning and an end.
Sure.
So,
Sorry, I'm very distracted because are on my screen.
so there is...
You did this. This is your
Probably, if I had to guess, I would say I would put a goal of you being able to name at least 10 characters and their stands, and I think summary of the places that they go and the things that they do. Do you think that's fair? And you can name 10 people and 10 of their stands,
Sure.
and a rough description of what happens.
Sure.
So the rule is going to be, I am going to start the power hour timer, which will beep every minute. Once the beep goes off, I'm going to begin reading off a summary. You know, as fast as I can, without like, you know, blowing through it and being intentionally ununderstandable or anything like that.
Sure.
So with
I mean,
with any time left, I want you to use that to try to ask as many questions as you think will be relevant.
sure. This is going to be great content for the podcast, by the way.
This is absolutely...
almost as good content as...
Honestly, my goal is to make it, if I can be halfway as good as all that material that's going to get cut.
Oh, all that material I'm going to...
Oh. All right. Is Harambe nearby? So,
Hashtag... out.
Are you ready?
I wonder if she's...
Shall we begin?
I don't remember the rules, but sure, let's go.
Your goal at the end of this is to name 10 characters, 10 stands, and a rough plot summary. 2, 1. Episode 1, Gold Experience. In 2001, 2 years after the events of Diamond is Unbreakable, Koichi Hirose travels to Naples, Italy, having been asked by Jotaro Kujo to search for a young man named Haruno Shiobana. Upon arriving at the airport, Koichi is scammed out of his luggage by his target, who calls himself Giorno Giovanna. Giorno escapes with Koichi's luggage by transforming it into a frog, but Giorno is then confronted by a gangster named Leaky Eye Luca for operating on his turf. Luca attempts to kill Giorno with a shovel, but finds the damage he deals to the frog is reflected back at him, knocking him unconscious. This incredibly powerful stand ability is never used or touched upon ever again. The rest of the season will show that this is an outright lie, that he only has one stand power, and Giorno demonstrates an additional ability roughly once every 3 episodes. Later, Koichi catches up to Giorno and uses his stand Echoes, but Giorno escapes using his stand Gold Experience, which he says has the ability to transform inanimate objects into living organisms. Koichi reports his finding to Jotaro and learns that Giorno is Dio Brando's son. Giorno boards a cable car and encourages Bruno Bucciarati,
DiGiorno.
who
It's
suspects
not
Giorno,
delivery. It's DiGiorno.
of harming Luca, who was later killed by his boss. After an intense grilling session, Giorno manages to keep his cool, and Bucciarati appears to let him go and exits the cable car. This is shown to be a ruse immediately, as Giorno notices that something has been slipped into his hand, the eye of Leaky Eye Luca. This causes Giorno to break out into cold sweat, where we then see that Bucciarati is leaning through the window of the cable car, and after licking the whole side of Giorno's face, finds out the truth because his sweat has the taste of a liar. Bucciarati brings out the power of his zipper-generating stand, Sticky Fingers, and attacks Giorno. Alright, so now, at the beep, you're going to have 1 minute to ask me as many questions as you want about episode 1.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Is it delivery or is it DiGiorno?
No, it's just Giorno.
Okay. What about Luca and why is it a meme?
His name is Leaky Eye Luca, and the meme is that...
no, Luca,
Giorno...
no.
Yeah, no, that's different, Luca. Luca is a cat in the meme. He's not
that's
a
why
cat
you
in
like
the
Luca.
show.
That's why you like Luca.
Yes, because I'm a cat man.
I'm a cat man. That wasn't.
One of my favorite vines is someone who's like, what is scat in Scatman? And then they find out and they're like horrified. But the song is going on in the background and it's funny.
You know? Never mind.
Yeah, you saved
But-
it.
but-
Now it doesn't need to be cut out.
But it rhymes with. It's also.
Who could it be? 5, 4.
Luca and.
Flashback, it is revealed that Giorno, who was abused by his stepfather and bullied by other kids, began being treated with respect after saving an injured gangster, which ironically was what imprinted upon him his values and sense of morality. Back in the present, faced with Bucciarati's stand, Sticky Fingers, Giorno desperately uses Gold Experience to defend himself. Upon striking Bucciarati, the latter's senses go berserk, giving Giorno the upper hand. This is the second time that Gold Experience demonstrates an incredibly powerful stand ability that is never used or touched upon ever again. Bucciarati creates a dimension-distorting zipper to try to escape inside another person, but Giorno tracks him down by turning one of his Bucciarati's teeth into a fly, which attempts to return into his body. Given the chance to finish Bucciarati off, Giorno decides against it, instead asking to join his organization so that he can defeat his boss and take over the city because he has a dream of getting rid of drugs. All other mafioso criminal activities, murder, bribery, extortion, etc., are fine. Drugs are just bad and shouldn't be sold to kids. 3, 2, 1. Alright, you got a minute. Go ahead.
What? I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I have no idea a word you just said.
I could not have been less clear.
I know.
I could not have been more clear.
Oh, wait, what? Those are two different.
I don't understand how I could have explained this better.
See, if I was less drunk, though.
Bucciarati's coming.
What about Pavarotti?
Bucciarati's coming.
I'm a tanner. I'm a tanner. Is it really hot in here? Or is it?
It is extremely hot in here.
Okay.
That was a good question to ask.
I know, right? How much time do I have left?
You have 10 seconds.
Do you think I have a chance with?
I mean, until you take your shot, we'll never know. 3, 2, 1.
Well, I'd send her.
Meet the gangster behind the wall. Bucciarati agrees to introduce Giorno into the Passione organization, but he has to be evaluated by Polpo, a gigantic and morbidly obese capo.
Polpo, is that how?
Giorno visits him in prison and realizes that
Is
he is
that
a
how popes
stand
greet
user.
each other?
Polpo tasks him with keeping the flame on a lighter burning for 24 hours as a test of trust. Sure. Giorno arrives back at his dorm with the lighter. He's a high schooler. But he is forced to evade Koichi, who has come looking for his passport. The lighter is accidentally doused by a janitor who looks incredibly similar to Nintendo's Mario. The janitor reignites the lighter, causing Polpo's stand Black Sabbath to appear. Black Sabbath kills the janitor by grabbing his soul and piercing an arrow through it, and then turns his attack to Giorno. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, you got a minute. What questions do you want to know?
Sorry, I'm sending a picture to Joe right now.
That's fine. What is the picture of?
Shout out to Joe. It's a picture of.
Joe-
Is that acceptable?
I think that's fine. I mean,
Good, because
don't
you
ta-
know, I'm really seriously. After you leave tonight, I'm gonna.
you only have one.
Am I supposed to have more than one?
Do
you hear it raining?
No.
It is.
Is there a dry spot outside still?
I don't know. You keep vamping for a while. I'm gonna get my other can of whatever. You keep going.
3, 2, 1. Episode 4, Joining the Gang. After evading Black Sabbath's attack, Giorno deduces that the stand is vulnerable to sunlight and must stay within the shadows. Koichi is also targeted after witnessing the lighter being relit, but he realizes that Black Sabbath is a remote-controlled stand, possessing the same type of arrow that created his stand. Black Sabbath traps Giorno within the shadow of a tree, but Giorno uses gold withers because Giorno fills it with so much life energy that it ages to death. Once again. The next day, Giorno visits Polpo, who admits a banana, leading Polpo to accidentally shoot himself when he tries to eat it. Koichi later, Bucciarati takes Giorno to meet the rest of the stand-holding team.
Did you
Please wait until the minute. Please wait until the minute's over to ask questions. Now you can ask questions. Polpo.
Why is my knife on the couch?
Polpo is now dead. He does not.
Okay.
All right. Hello. Why is your knife on the couch? And I'm asking you questions.
I know, right?
This is so much fun. I'm having
A great time right now, if you know what I mean. Can I get a high five?
in her.
Am I right? Why can I not get a high five? It's raining.
Find Polpo's fortune. News Polpo's hidden fortune.
Why do I not remember anything
Meanwhile,
about the Young Bucks
Giorno is
match
introduced to
tonight?
the other members of Past.
Vito rage quit.
The team doesn't like Giorno off the bat, and Abaccio is shocked when he downs it in one go, after deducing that from the smell all the non-water material in the
we've
piss.
all been there
Meaning he
before.
actually just drank
What
water.
are we actually talking about?
It's
this
a
is
really
horrible
weird
podcast.
hazing team. Giorno has a dream.
This is even worse than me talking about for 3 hours.
After learning of Polpo's death, Bucciarati takes his team on a yacht to Capri to retrieve Polpo's fortune and attain the rank of capo. Narancia, Mista, Fugo mysteriously vanish, leading Bucciarati to suspect someone has snuck onto the yacht and is targeting him to the fortune. Giorno deduces that the others are still alive and acts as bait to lure out the enemy stand, prompting Abaccio, who initially distrusted Giorno, to bring out his own stand, Moody Blues.
But I'm gonna be totally honest with you. But I do know that it's not delivery, and something about Luca and milk and a cat and dolphin masturbating.
Alright, episode. Diavolo attempts to grab the
Barry,
arrow with Kring strips, but Bucciarati destroys Chariot record, returning everyone's souls to their respective bodies.
Barry,
However, his body
Barry.
is already dead, and Bucciarati's soul begins to ascend to heaven.
Barry, this is the
Important parting,
cluster.
he thanks Giorno for making
Barry,
him feel alive.
edit
Super
this in.
clusterfuck.
Barry,
When they meet, and he leaves the arrow in Giorno's hands.
Barry,
Diavolo
edit this in.
contemplates escaping after seeing
Edit,
Giorno with the arrow.
edit
But when
this
Trish
in.
reveals her father's intentions to flee, he has a change of heart, believing that he is entitled to be king, and that he should have no reason to run away. This is not in character at all, but the series had to end at some point, so it's fine. Go ahead.
I'm focused on right now. I mean, realistically, look at those. Would you?
Back in the present, Giorno and the others learn that despite his body being for safekeeping, the series ends with Giorno being watched by Mista and Polnareff as he is in state.
Oh no, I still have one more can to go.
Alright, so that's the entire...
What's that?
There were 39 episodes.
Other than Luca and DiGiorno. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
You don't remember Scalipi?
No.
You don't remember Eluso?
Okay, you're also assuming that I'm very sober right now, and you are very wrong.
I am not assuming that you were sober at all.
That's very good because I'm very not. And also on my screen, and I'm kind
Alright, so...
that would be very less. That would be much less sad if it wasn't true.
Oh, sad Tyler's sad.
Oh.
You've made everybody sad listening to the
Oh, look, there's a
podcast.
black guy on TV. Oh, there he goes.
No, he's still there.
Hat sideways. I don't know.
Because
Where
it
are
makes
we
you
at?
feel cool.
We are at we're at like
Hour.
1:15. We're good enough.
That's good enough.
So this was yet another highly disappointing episode of the 10-minute Power Hour.
What?
No, this was... no, what? What's going on? This was another highly disappointing episode of... what's our... The Idiot Squad. There we go.
Poopy perverts.
The Putin...
Spooky perverts.
Putin...
Human hot dogs.
Putin human hot dogs and
The Oscar Myers.
the big wieners.
I'm not promising something that I can't deliver on.
Yeah, anyway. So this had absolutely no point to it, and it will probably never be released. Until about 3 years later, when I get the time to edit through it and edit out every single reference to and heard that I want to... Anything you want to say about that?
You dig your hole, man. You dig your hole.
Alright. I'm good. Alright. This has been the Idiot Squad podcast. Yeah, somehow this was probably less bad than the one that we did in Austin. That one was really bad.
I don't believe it was.
I mean,
I believe it was bad, but I don't believe this one was better.
I mean, that one in Austin we did, it had no direction at all. Like, at all, period. This one at least kind of had some
This one
direction.
didn't have direction. This one had erection. Yours for...
Am I not the only one?
You are going to be cutting all this out.
I don't care.
Right now.
She...
You make recording this hard. On yourself.
Alright, well, anyway, to our one listener, hey Kyle.
To our 1,000 hertz that help us.
Hey Kyle, what's up? How are the... congratulations on getting married.
God. Oh my god. We were so close. We were so close to having a listenable episode.
Realistically, anything that we've ever said been listenable.
We have...
I'm also wearing my Bass Pro Shops hat.
Your hat
like
keeps
a
getting
douche.
farther back on your head.
I know,
It's
right?
just going to fall down the stairs. And then you're going to go get
You're
it.
gonna
And
fall
you're
down the
going
stairs,
to fall
and
down
I'm
the
gonna...
stairs.
And everyone's gonna be happy.
I don't...
What is going on?
They spelled fight on wrong.
Oh, they got it right.
There we go.
Okay. Alright. We're watching TV, so we should stop this episode. That chick also in the white shirt on the left side there, that's... Anyway, this has been Tile, whatever my name is.
You got your own name wrong.
Shut up. This has been the Idiot Squad, and we're inebriated, and
Your returns can't diminish if
hey,
you
I'm
had none
drunk.
to start with.
I'm not so drunk, and we're the game drunks.
Penis
See ya.
doily.
Lick balls.
Lick balls.